So the big, bold statement that I really want to focus on today is the middle one, is our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And when I say that, I kind of feel warm and fuzzy, right? It feels really good to say that, you know. And I know who doesn't want to know that they are connected to something much greater than the physical reality we see all around us. You know, that we belong to something greater and that we are a piece and a part of the whole and we matter and we contribute. It's important. It makes us feel so good. And as we become more and more established or embody that spiritual principle, I mean, we can see through the lens of, and see it all around us, everywhere we are. I mean, who doesn't feel awe and promise when we watch a sunrise and the beautiful colors and the magnificence of it? Who doesn't feel the majesty standing under a redwood tree and looking straight up at the top and going, wow? Who doesn't feel the power in a lightning bolt, or the happiness and the gentility in a child's smile, or the majesty of the aurora borealis, or who can't hear God's voice in a thunderclap, or the music of a song, of laughter, of just being alive? Who can't hear that? And who doesn't marvel at that little tiny blade of grass that finds its way, the tenacity of life that finds its way through the crack in the cement? I mean, what?
My weeds?
Those.
Weeds.
Life will find a way, you know, and it will. Who doesn't feel that? And, gosh, I love that. So here's my question. All that is to get to this question. Are we willing to see, to feel our own spiritual magnificence? Are we willing to do that? Can we trust that that is actually who we are? And I read this interesting definition of trust the other day. It comes from a root word that means alliance. Can we be in alliance with our spiritual magnificence? Can we embody that? Can you feel how that feels? It's qualitatively different than just knowing, oh yeah, I'm one with the spiritual magnificence of God. I am one with the spiritual magnificence of God. Wow. And as I know that about myself, I know it about you. I know what I'm contributing to the collective consciousness, knowing that is who we all are. So, let's see. So when we come from the belief, from the knowing, from the embodied lived experience that we are fundamentally whole, that we are fundamentally these part and parcel with the divine nature of our Creator, then our spiritual practice becomes this gradual peeling away of our conditioned assumptions, our conditioned beliefs. It becomes kind of a pulling away of all of the things that we've accumulated through our life, of our enculturation, the experiences we've had in our past, and the things we've come to believe about that. And if we believe anything less than we are the magnificence of our Creator, if our spiritual magnificence is within us, as our founder Ernest Holmes said, the seed perfection. I love that. Then if we come from that idea of we're whole and we're peeling back all this stuff, then we have an opportunity to look at it and say, now, is that really true about me? You know, do I really want to hang on to that? Is that really the magnificence of who I am? And we can tell ourselves the truth about it and move on. And I don't know about you, but this version of Michelle that is standing here in front of you today, 35 years ago was an entirely different version. 25 years ago, entirely, heck, 5 years ago, this was an entirely different version. And so if I know that I am the spiritual magnificence of my Creator, then my spiritual practice must become loving, accepting, integrating, forgiving all of those previous iterations of myself. I have to be able to love all of that, to see it for what it was. You know, maybe I did stuff because I didn't know who I was. I wasn't awake to the fullness of my divine being. And I guarantee you the Michelle that will stand here, whatever, next week, will have to fully accept, forgive, integrate the Michelle that's standing here in front of you today. Because there are still places in me that are unhealed. There are still places in me that misbelieve or are misaligned with that divine nature. But in this process of unfolding, I have the opportunity to find that safe place where I can unpack all that baggage, where I can look at it from the divine presence within me, from peace and safety and love. You know, I don't have to keep dragging that old Samsonite luggage behind me. I can unzip it and unpack it and look at it and keep what's valuable and throw the rest away and let it go. So, as I'm able to do that with myself, then I'm able to see the potential in you. I'm able to stand here and know that we're human beings having a human experience, but at the core of who we all are, we are divine. We are that spiritual magnificence. And if we embody the idea, the lived experience that we are one with our spiritual magnificence, with the spiritual magnificence, then our spiritual practice isn't just to peel away the old layers. It's to discover our uniqueness. Because just like there's no two sunsets, there's no two human beings. And each and every one of us has this wonderful gift that we can bring forward into the world. And I'm pretty sure that most of us have an inkling of what that is. Even when I was a kid, I kind of had an idea of what that might be. But, you know, as we move through our lives, we discover that we have a passion about something, or we love doing this, or we gravitate towards this. We have an idea of how we can bring that magnificence, that unique specialness that we have come here to give, and find it and bring it forward. Now, let me be clear. I truly believe that each and every one of us is here to love and to be loved. That's, you know, that goes without saying, that's our purpose for being here. But we get to discover, we get to unwrap the gift of what our uniqueness is and how we get to bring it forward. That's pretty cool, right? You know? And it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen just in one way. It kind of comes over time, where it kind of floats to the surface, and you learn more about who you are, and you evolve, and you grow, and you expand. I mean, what I've come to know about myself is that I have an ability to take abstract concepts or ideas and simplify them and help us relate them to our daily human lives. And I can communicate that pretty well. And I can do it with humor as well. So, I mean, and I can do that in so many different ways, and I have. I can do it through teaching. I can do it through ministry. I can do it through my family and my friends. I can do it through standing in the line at the grocery store and talking to the lady in front of me. I mean, there are a million different ways that I can bring that unique gift. And I know with every part of my being that you have a unique gift too. And you probably already know what it is, but play with the idea of being able to find some new, wonderful way of expressing this and let it bring joy to your life. Because I know that as I have discovered what I'm here to do and be and to express into the collective whole, it makes my travel lighter. And I become softer, and I get to live in the freedom and the joy that we're all here to experience. It's our birthright. It's our inherent divinity. That's who we are. So, What else did I want to say? So the next thing that I think is really important for us to remember is that as we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, we first have to wake up to it ourselves. I can't see the light in you if I can't see the light in myself. I just can't. I can't see it. So I have to look through the lens of my wholeness to see the potential in you. If I look through the lens of my brokenness, then all I'm going to see are the things about you that are unhealed in me. I'm going to tend to find every little thing in you that I really don't like about myself and I'm afraid to look at. And I have to be able to look at all of the things that are unhealed in me so that I can see the potential in you and know the truth and the goodness for you. And we do that in just so many ways, and coming together and facing who we are and being who we are. And I know for sure, because I've experienced it in my own life, that whoever I believe I am will be mirrored back to me. It just will. It will be mirrored back to me in my interactions with people. It will be mirrored back to me in my situations and the events that come up for me. And I want that to be grounded in peace and love and unity and wholeness. And I could go on and on talking about the aspects of the divine. I want it to come back to me fully grounded in the magnificence of who I am, coming from the magnificence of who you are. So here's what I know for sure. That fear, hate, division, all of the things, confusion, I could go on about that too, all of the things that we would rather not experience in our life cannot exist in a field of love. They can't. They cannot exist in a field of love. Try holding them in the same, you can't. So my practice, our practice, can collectively be to live in an atmosphere of love and to carry that with us as we walk through our daily lives, our daily human lives, to remember who we are in God, to remember our spiritual magnificence. And this is how we change. This is how we affect change in the world. Because whatever we hold is going to be mirrored back to us. And when I see the stuff in the world right now, and come on, you know it's all getting a little crazy out there, I can use that as a call to know who I am. Here's the place where I have power. Here's the power place, right in my own individual consciousness. And I know that as I transform, I contribute to the transformation of the collective whole. And that's what I want to do. Do you have time to do a story?
No.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
So,
As long as it's not my story.
it's probably not your story. I just have one. And this is a cute little story about, there was this little village that was pretty isolated. It was between a mountain range and the sea. And so they kind of were tucked away, and they were pretty isolated from the rest of the world. And for some reason, God knows why, they didn't even know why, they had this ancient tradition of carrying around unlit lanterns. Everywhere they went, you had an unlit lantern with you. It was just the way they did it. And you would see unlit lanterns hanging on posts outside houses and shops and sitting on shelves everywhere, unlit lanterns. And nobody knew why. So one day, a woman lit her lantern. She lit, and everybody was aghast. Oh my gosh, did you see what so-and-so did? And everybody was, why did you light your lantern? What's going on? She said, because I remembered what it's for. And everybody was a little skeptical. Oh, she's off her rocker, except for one man who became very, very curious. And so he said, can you help me light my lantern? And she said, well, she didn't give him matches. She didn't tell him what to do. She said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go sit with your elderly neighbor next door and just sit with her and just be with her. Have a kind, calm conversation. Just be present. And so he did, and he felt this calm, quiet stillness and connection within him. And as he picked up his unlit lantern to go home, it started to flicker. And by the time he got home, it too had this warm, soft, even glow. And so everyone else, of course, wanted to do the same thing. And before you know it, everybody is doing some small, kind act so that their lanterns would start to glow. And, it wasn't grand declarations. They didn't all decide we're going to light our lanterns. It was just one small act at a time. They helped a neighbor. They planted a tree. They befriended somebody who needed help. They just did one. They sang songs. They did all these little things that connected them, that brought the kindness and the light of the divine. They lit up their spiritual magnificence. And in this way, we changed the world.
Wow. And I'm thinking, how am I going to top that?
You don't have to top it.
No, I will. How many people have seen the movie The Color Purple? Most of us, okay. I have a quote from there, and I had to make it smaller because it went on and on. But, not God. There we go. God is inside you, inside everybody else. You come into the world with God, but only those who search for it inside find it. And sometimes it just manifests itself even if you're not looking or don't know what you're looking for. I believe God is everything, says Chug. Everything that is or ever was or will ever be. And when you can feel that, be happy to feel that. You found it. You found it. That's Alice Walker wrote that. And The Color Purple. Today, my part of the talk is about being alive. Being alive and being in community. I think about COVID, how it just separated all of us. Took us in many different places, many different directions. That was hard. I mean, I did paint my entire house. That was okay. But now it's coming back together. It's learning how to do that in a way where we really feel each other. So you have to know, I'm actually thrilled. We have 9 people online. 9 people. Welcome everybody online. Yay. And we can see who they are. It's pretty cool. And we have a full house.
Nice TV too.
It's nice TV, yeah. Yeah. Tom and Martin and a gentleman from out in the street came and helped us pick that up. Hey, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Anyway, it's wonderful that we have now the technology and the ways. Hi, everybody. Oh, let's see who you are. It wasn't part of my talk, but that's okay. Anyway, they're all there. See, I think, it's funny, I always think of life, sometimes it's really complicated, but it's filled, oh, there they are, they're coming back, okay. All right. But it's filled with mysteries. And sometimes I think we have to give ourselves a break. We have to give ourselves a break. It's just there's so much going on at one time, it's sometimes hard to go, what do I do next? The other thing I really believe in is that we have to lean on each other. And we're learning how to do that again. It's not an easy process. If you've been out there by yourself, doing it on your own, that's the hardest way. But we need to know that we can lean on each other, that we're alive, that we're safe, and that we're going to be okay. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And sometimes even I don't feel okay. And I have to constantly bring myself back to we're going to be okay. One of my favorite authors is Thich Nhat Hanh, and he says this. He says, we have a tendency to think in terms of doing and not in terms of being. We think that when we're not doing anything, we're wasting our time. But that's not true. Our time is, first of all, for us to be. To be what? To be alive, to be peaceful, to be joyful, to be loving. And this is what the world needs the most. We all need to train ourselves in a way of being that is the ground for all action. Our quality of being determines our quality of doing. Our quality of being determines our quality of doing. He's asking us just to be. I remember going through ministerial school, and Reverend Alice would say, just be. I'm like, what do you mean, just be? Just be. Just be. And so it was something that just really stuck with me. It's like every time I forget, I have to go, just be. Wherever I am, that's where I am. Whatever I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. And not judge myself for being there. And I counsel lots of people, and they judge themselves for being where they're at. It's like, it doesn't matter. It means it's another stage of life of being, of just being wherever you're at. And it's okay. That's the cool part, I think, about New Thought, is that we are just okay with whatever you are. You don't have to be something special because you're already there. So he asks you to be what? He says to be alive, to be peaceful, to be joyful, and to be loving. Much of what you've already said. And that's what the world needs now. This sounds kind of strange, but I think of you as all as little Jesus is walking around, being loving and kind to everybody you can. And when you're not, you're in there healing it. You're working it. You're making it easier for yourself and those that you meet. But you're being. See, life is diverse, it's complicated, and it is a mystery. How many people here are comfortable being in the mystery?
Sure. Pretty much.
Some of you? Okay. Sometimes. I encourage you to constantly learn how to be in the mystery. When you are like that, you just... One of our people just came back from Greece, right? I saw your little hat. Yay.
She's back.
As New Thought religious science individuals, we have to honor and cultivate a solid way of being. Life doesn't look that way. But when we learn it, then we learn it, and then we give it away. And we help another. Who was I talking to? I'm talking to you. TJ was in an accident. Is that okay I said that? And then he told me about what he did with this young man. He went inside of his car and sat with him and said, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to be okay. It's teaching those that don't think they need it, we give it to them. Free and easy. The thing is, we study, I'm saying a lot of what you said in the sense of we study, we heal, we meditate, we observe, and we consciously do our work in the world. In the world, your world, whatever that world is. And we try to spread that joy and peace. It reminds me when I started religious science, way back when, and it was Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn's church. Yes, none of us remember her. She's still around. I'm going to her graduation today, or a graduation. It's today, yeah. And when I got there, I was very broken, very sad, very not sure what to do, when to go, how to do it. And my friends dropped me off and said, we'll see you in an hour. That's how good of friends they were. But what you don't know is that they saved my life.
That's right.
They saved my life. But I didn't know what to do. This is a whole new language, right? So instead of trying to figure out the language, I tried to find somebody that I admired. I remember a practitioner by the name of Jerry. I can't remember his last name. I wish I could see him today. But he had all these qualities of peacefulness, of wisdom, of love. And I thought, I just got to be with them. And so I made myself be with them. And over a period of time, I just said, I'm going to take another class. That's something I need. There's a piece of that puzzle I don't understand. I need to understand why I feel the way I feel. Pretty soon, more classes, and guess what? Here I am. But I sought the people that had the qualities that I wanted to embody. That's why we have community. One of the things I love about community is that we can be together today, we can be in a class, we can be on Zoom, we know each other, and we give each other permission to be in a bad place. Seriously, right? And we don't judge them. We just sit there and go, it's okay. You'll get through this. And we love you today anyway. Ernest Holmes says this. He says, it should be considered right to live and to enjoy living. To be well, happy, and to express freedom is to be in accord with the divine law and wisdom. We are always with the divine. There's no place where it is not. It is within you, around you. And I can tell you how many times I've driven around and felt like not very good. And I go, divine, be around me, surround my car. And then I get home fast. I don't worry about those things because I know I'm with that. And it's moving through me. So, and in fact, don't pick this up yet. But this is something from my book. And I actually misspelled something on there. I couldn't believe it. I'm like... But this talks about unconditional love and acceptance of self and others. And this is a process that you can do on your own, but it's for you. And if anyone online would like a copy, just you can text me. Here's the number, right, like this. 858-213-7061. All right, so I'm going to tell you about a story. But this is an unusual story. It's about bees. B-E-E-S.
Yes.
Yes, my bee person. And you say, what's that have to do with to talk today? It has everything to do with the miracle of God. And it is a miracle. Here's a slide. Isn't that unique? That's very different. Bees have a surprising secret. And I didn't know this. Now maybe you all know this, but I didn't know this. But when a hive loses its queen, who is the only one of keeping the hive together and maintaining order and balance, what happens is the hive slowly dies if she dies. Because without eggs, the future disappears. Without that growth, it goes away. And within a few weeks, the colony is threatened to extinction. It goes away. But bees don't panic. You know the story? Not yet. Oh, okay. Bees don't panic, nor do they go outside somewhere and find some guy to find a queen bee and bring it home. Instead, what they do is, and I have to read this because I get chills when I think about this, with extraordinary display of collective intelligence and instinct, in other words, internal wisdom, they launch a spectacular emergency response that is hard to maintain in a world of insects. That's what this is. That's what that circle is. And a transformation begins. And it's a simple choice. Who will be the next bee? I'm getting chills over this. Who will be the next bee? And I want you to think of yourself as that larva that's up there. Because that's exactly who we are. So they go around and they pick a larva. It's a worker bee larva. It's nothing special, just like all of us. But what they do is they pick one larva and they start feeding it and feeding it. And they give what they call it royal food. Royal food. And they feed it this special food for days, constantly feeding it. It has protein, vitamins, and bioactive compounds in it. Interesting, right? It's the purest that we could talk about. And within 2 to 3 days, something incredible happens to it. It increases in size by 20 times its normal size. So it would be 20 times that size. And there's a switch that goes on. as it becomes larger, it has the ability now to reproduce babies. It was a worker bee, but now it can make babies because of the nurturing that it's been put into that larva and made it the queen bee. And it will last for a very, very long time until this process happens again. This process is a lot like us. We come in, we're just regular people, right? We come in and we go, what is all of this? And then we get surrounded by those people that love us. And then we start to say, I want more. And they start to feed us and feed us more. And we go to classes. We come to church. We go to meditations. We go to the internet and say, I need more. I need to be fed. Here's what this particular author said. The queen isn't chosen based on genes. It's created, just like you. Leadership is born out of crisis. That's the opportunity. Metamorphosis doesn't just save the larva, it saves the entire community, the colony. We're a colony, whether you like it or not. We are out there doing the same work. And lastly, once the queen is ready, she takes over leadership of the hive, begins laying eggs, and restores order from the threat of extinction. The colony is reborn stronger, more organized, and more balanced. I think of COVID in a way as killing the bee, killing the queen. And we're now coming back together as a collective. So everybody knows how I love AI. Well, I'm learning to love AI in my own way because it's learning to love me. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, how does this apply to mankind? Here's what it said. She said, I call it a she. She's a she.
Yeah.
I think this transformation is a beautiful illustration of how nourishment and environment can radically alter destiny, not just in bees, but as a metaphor for humans. If we feed ourselves, that's physically, mentally, spiritually, to the right royal jelly, uplifting ideas, supporting community, and powerful beliefs, we can unlock our potential and thrive beyond what we thought was possible. Pretty amazing, huh? Oh, she has more to say. She does. From a neutral perspective, the story of the bee larva transformation simply shows how environment and nutrition can impact the development of a very literal way. In broader terms, it reminds that the small shift, this is the thing I'm talking about, in support and resources can have a dramatic effect on outcomes. Everything you learn here, beyond, has a little shift within you. It wakes something else up. There's more to be had. And then she's, of course, had more to say. Forward-looking possibilities for the individual. Anyone can apply this concept to their life. There are no limitations here. Choose to feed your mind and spirit with royal jelly, positive thoughts, empowering beliefs, and nurturing communities. This can activate your potential, helping you to grow in ways you didn't think were possible. You said you were 25 years ago. I was not anything like this 25 years ago. But the biggest thing is it's called the dedication to yourself. Dedicate yourself to making yourself better. It doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are. Is she 10 now? 11. Oh my God. I knew this one when she was barely that tall. Huh, Olivia? To someone I think in here is like 95, I think. Yes? Yes, Mary? We never stop. The advantage that we have, though, is that we're very conscious. If you come here, you are asked to be very conscious. Conscious about how you want to live, conscious about the people you want to hang with, conscious about your spirituality, conscious about how you want to grow, conscious of what you want to let go of. Do you know what I mean? Those things that no longer serve you don't belong to you anymore. Give them to somebody else. Let them have them. They need that so they can grow too. That sounded bad though, didn't it? Giving away the bad stuff? Just letting go. The thing that I want to say is, part of the reason I'm changing Ohm's name is because I really believe in community. And I think that we've lost that over the last period of time. And so the word community means a lot. Look at your neighbor. They're your community, whether you know each other or not. And they're here to support you when it doesn't feel like there's community. You are never alone. Even all of those that are online. Right now we have 3 cameras, so I'm not sure which one I should look at. That one in the middle? Oh, good. All of you, I was so gently told that you are a spiritual community. And I want you to hear this. You are a spiritual community. And you're there to help each other. You get a chance to pray after the service, whether you're with us or whether you're online. Community is important. And that's all I really want to talk about, is being more and one with each other. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to take you into prayer. And so as we move into prayer, I know that we are one with this infinite divine presence that moves in our lives and as our lives and through our lives. There's no place where God is not. It is breathing our breath. It is thinking our minds. It is helping us drive our car, consciously or unconsciously. It is always with us in every given moment. And so today, as we come together, I know that each one of us is connected to the higher source that is saying, yes, yes, yes. Be there for yourself and be there for your community. And so I know and accept today, as we have given this talk together, that we've given it on purpose to send the message that Spirit does miraculous things, and being in the mystery is a wonderful way of expressing it. And knowing that even in the mystery, we're safe, we're perfect, we're whole, and that we have an opportunity. And so I bless each of you that are willing to hear this today, those that will listen to this later on, knowing that there is this infinite connection to each other, this thread, this knowingness, that we're always together, no matter where we are in our lives. And so as we get up tomorrow and brush our teeth, we can remember today, remember the miracle of God, and remember that we're not alone. And for that, I just give great thanks. Thanks for that understanding, that deep, abiding love that's within each of you, knowing that that is what sustains and grows you and everyone around you. And for that, join me in saying, and so it is, and so it is.